Good evening, everybody. Hello, Audrey. Thank you for your time. I'm triggered to have you as our guest tonight. Tonight we have in our studio, let's call it like that, virtual studio, Audrey Nesbitt, one of the best speaker and women in tech in Canada in the blockchain space, who currently uh, driving innovation through your project of Bloomy,
Mm-hmm.
which is combining the stock market and blockchain solutions. And tonight we're gonna speak a little bit about your current project, about women in tech, and about stock market, a little bit about the Canadian blockchain market. We have a lot of questions to you, and welcome to our studio again.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you. Audrey, could you please, we already had a discussion with you recently, so tonight we're gonna dive a little bit deeply. And can you please share to us just briefly about your current project, what you are doing, what's currently going on your side?
So, my current projects, Spirit Blockchain Capital, has a three-pronged approach in regards to what it's offering to the blockchain and finance community. It is a publicly traded company in Canada. And it has assets under management. It's launching some tech products, and it's basically building an app that will be a bridge from CeFi to DeFi and various blockchain products. And Spirit Blockchain Capital also invests in blockchain infrastructure, so they're also building products. Bloomly, the Bloomly platform is an NFT platform that basically anybody with some coding experience can go and launch an NFT product or an NFT series. And we are working on various products in carbon credits, and in mining right now seems to be a focus. So
Oh, that's really nice. And uh, my next question actually it's about challenging that you face it during your journey. But personally, I want to ask you: is it hard to become a public tradable company in Canada? I think it's like a huge challenge.
I believe it is. I've heard it is, and that would be an amazing question for our CEO, Louis Bateman, who puts
Yeah.
these products together. That is his
Oh, I see.
expertise. He is the captain of that ship and has done it in the past. And yeah, he's the guru in that regard.
I see. Anyway, I think your your project is one of the first of changing whole economy, and especially not only in Canada but globally. You're using the blockchain for a real solution in the stock market, and this is really like the forcing of game changing.
So saying it's a solution in the stock market, that's kind of I'm not sure what you mean by that. Like, it is a publicly traded company,
Oh,
and it is in tokenization of real world assets.
yeah.
So it is leading in the tokenization of real world assets on that front. Um, yeah.
All right. Can you please explain to us what does the uh, average difference from Spirit and other blockchain companies? Like, how does it work on what you're focusing?
So that would be a completely long and different conversation. So, as I mentioned, it
Yeah.
has a three-pronged approach. It is investing in blockchain technology. It is bridging and launching an app It is B2B. Predominantly, our clients will be family offices and wealth management companies, banks. Um, and what makes it different is the fact that it is buying the tech companies, investing in the tech companies, and technology is a part of Spirit Blockchain Capital.
All right. And women in tech. Let's take this topic. As I know, you were one of the founder and who is running Ethereum Woman on or
No,
Woman
ETH Women. So
If
ETH
Women.
Women and ETH Toronto.
Yeah.
So Crypto Chicks and Untraceable, or the Futures Conference, Tracy Leparulo,
Oh,
and Crypto Chicks have been a big part of Ethereum and helping, with Ethereum events and the Ethereum Foundation and that sort of thing. So
yeah,
through Crypto Chicks and Untraceable,
yeah.
we have all worked on and helped with ETH Women and ETH Toronto. And
Oh, I
actually
see.
ETH Denver and other ETH events. But
Oh, that's quite good. How did you appreciate it? How it started for you to get
how did
into
I
this?
how did I get started in Web3, or how did I get started in this space?
Yeah, in the like running the Ethereum hackathons and in general, how did you entering into the Ethereum Foundation?
So, like I mentioned, through the Untraceable and Crypto Checks,
Yeah,
um, that is that is the bridge. That
good.
again, like back in Toronto in the early stages of Ethereum, out of Ethereum, Crypto Chicks came,
Yeah,
and it was founded by two women that wanted to teach women about cryptocurrency, very simplistic things like how to get a digital wallet and buy their
yeah,
first Ethereum and Bitcoin. And that blew up into Crypto Chicks. And because Crypto Chicks and Untraceable already do events,
yeah,
and initially, before COVID, Crypto Chicks did their own conference in Toronto. We're talking about
yeah,
specifically because Crypto Chicks has had events all over the world.
yeah,
Um, Crypto Chicks would have the conference in May. The Futurist conference was in the fall. Um, the decision was made during COVID to merge. And Tracy Leparulo has been incredibly successful with the Futurist Conference. She's amazing. And it's all come from, Tracy, Elena, Natalia, the founding women here who became involved with Ethereum.
Oh, I see. And can you please share to us your thought on why Canada missed launch of Ethereum? Like as we know, first it were founded and started from Canada, but then they moved to US. Your opinion why it happened and your suggestion for future women who want to start the startups or tech companies in here.
So there's a few questions in there. So one
Yeah,
question you asked is, why do some companies move to the US or launch
yeah,
in the US?
yeah. The Ethereum, especially, like,
Oh, so Ethereum moved to Europe. Yeah. So
yeah,
that uh, I don't know. I'm not on the inside. My guess is tax reasons.
yeah,
Um, So that is my guess. Tax reason
the
and
tax
maybe
reason.
regulation. That I don't know. That would be a question for Ethereum. Um, from my experience in the startup world, why some like Web3 projects decide to leave Canada is
Yeah,
regulation. Um, Canada is not as innovative as Canada likes to think it is. It is actually dragging on regulation.
yeah,
Regulation here is to protect a select group of companies and not to foster, new competition or new products in this space, in the finance space.
yeah,
Um, so yes, we have actually, even initially, I remember consulting with gaming cryptocurrency projects back in 2014 and 2015 and telling them to leave Canada completely because they could just get better regulation elsewhere. They could get gambling licenses. They could get, there was just friendlier jurisdictions elsewhere. In Canada right now, Alberta is Alberta's being a little more progressive on regulation and attracting crypto or tokenization
Oh,
companies. So some have left Ontario to go to Alberta.
oh,
But yeah, there's just bigger markets elsewhere. There's bigger investors elsewhere, and more progressive thinking elsewhere. So until
nice.
Canada catches up and realizes innovation goes beyond forestry and mining and traditional industries, then
Yeah.
we're more countries are just going to leave.
Oh, I see. So, what do you think about the implementation of AI into the government and regulation around of AI?
So you would have to be more specific in what you're asking in regards to regulation specific on AI. That's a very broad question. Should the
Yeah,
government regulate AI?
yeah,
Absolutely. Should the government be worried about people's data? Absolutely. Should the
yeah,
government be worried about what do they call them? Deep fakes and that sort
yeah.
of thing? 100%. So yes, there should be government regulation around AI. Um, and yeah,
I
so I
mean, currently we in Canada there is a lot of startups who working on AI. Some of them like globally already quite popular. And how to avoid to losing them from Canadian market? You're,
tax incentives, be regulatory friendly,
yeah,
not where it hurts, not where it hurts the consumer, but be forward thinking and I don't know, create better. I mean, I heard it like in the blockchain industry and in Ontario, they have the sandbox. But
yeah,
my understanding is who runs the sandbox are people that know very little about blockchain or cryptocurrency. So they get these old traditional bureaucrats running innovation hubs, and that just doesn't make sense. So why is it in Canada, especially Ontario, the people that are making decisions on regulation know nothing about blockchain, or they can't tell the difference between blockchain and Bitcoin or blockchain and Ethereum?
yeah. No, that's quite interesting. Like you're touching such a uh, fundamental problems in the government, and uh, is it in spirit using some AI tools to some analyzing the tech startups to working to buying them, or is it somehow implementing AI solutions?
I'm not really clear on the question you're asking me.
Like previously you said the spirit in spirit you're buying the tech startups and running them.
Investing, yeah,
Yeah.
investing.
So are you looking into the AI startups and somehow using the AI itself in the company?
Um, so some of the Spirit Blockchain Capital partners
Yeah.
that already exist, yes, some of them are using AI
Oh,
for data analysis, the aggregation and assessment of data, market data. Yes.
so it's like analyzing the market by using AI, some of those companies, right?
Yeah, and it would depend on which
And
specific company.
do you
Yeah.
see any potential of AI into the blockchain solutions or the stock market?
Yes. But that's a very vague. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
all of them are going to intersect at some point. So, yes.
yeah. My like one of the lovely questions which I'm giving to all our speakers as well. AI on blockchain, is it a dangerous solution? Like decentralized AI tool? What's your opinion about it? Like,
I
will
get again,
government?
it's such a big topic. It would depend on what specifically what specifically you are asking. So
Yeah.
my understanding, one of the potential benefits of AI on blockchain is, the black box, the whole black box,
Yes.
issue. So for those that are
Yeah.
listening, in AI, like in a Tesla vehicle, the black box is all the information that's going into the black box to come up with a solution. What is not understood is what happens in the black box
Like
for
that.
that AI to make that decision. So in regards to self-driving cars, if the self-driving car decides to save the driver of the car and not a pedestrian,
Yeah.
right? Why did it make that decision? And judges look at that going, I don't like how, if we can't look at and figure out how that decision was made and why that decision was made, then it shouldn't be, like, how do we make it legal? Like, how
Yeah.
does it translate into court, and accountability? So there have been, again, I wrote an article on this years ago on can putting all of that data on a blockchain kind of help understand how the black box, be transparent in what was happening in the black box. Is that happening? I don't know. It's not I'm not in
Yeah.
that specific project.
All right. And your favorite project in the blockchain space now?
Well, Spirit Blockchain Capital would be
Spirit blockchain.
Spirit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's logically. All right.
Yeah.
And what suggestion you can give for people who want to, let's say, if there is a startup who want to join the Spirit Capital, what they should know and how they have the possibility, if they have the possibility to doing so.
They would have to go to spiritblockchaincapital.com and submit, get in touch with Louis Bateman, and
Yeah.
then there'd be an assessment as to if it's a fit, right now or down the road or through another product of Spirit Blockchain Capital. There will be accelerators, right? There will be
Yeah.
incubators and accelerators for startups in the space.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. Um, could you please share to us a little bit more, like unlock the DAOs, and what's the difference between the traditional funds and DAOs? Is it a solution to somehow innovate the, like, let's say, the publicly traded companies, or is it totally different?
So I don't understand what you mean by connecting a DAO to a publicly
So
traded
not
company.
connecting, but what's the difference between them? Because in general, it's something similar, like
See,
some
not really. So
community.
publicly traded
Yeah,
company, you have people that there's a CEO, there's a publicly traded company.
they have roles. Yeah,
You have roles, and
yeah,
if it's publicly traded, there's accountability.
yeah,
There's accountability for those roles and decisions that are made. So I don't understand the connection. It's not a DAO. Like a DAO is basically decentralized, and it's we're going to, you own some tokens, you get a vote.
yeah,
So it's more of a collective.
yeah,
However, I think a lot of DAOs, there are some great DAOs,
yeah,
but a lot of DAOs are bullshit for, I want to raise money and it's the only token I can get away with without raising, the attention of the SEC or the OSC or some other board. So it's bullshit, pure bullshit, because it's still centralized.
yeah,
So it's one of those, could it work technically in the future? I think DAOs can be great. I think they have a lot of potential. There are challenges. However, even with DAOs where people that hold the most tokens can control the vote.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how governance and DAOs kind of evolve to balance that.
Yeah.
What is considered fair? Does everybody, what is considered fair? Should somebody that has more have more weight, or any owner gets equal vote? I mean, it all
Yeah.
depends on the DAO. So
Is there any DAO that you're put your eyes on it, or you like into it?
the Lynx DAO, I think that's what it's called. It was a golf DAO that launched a long time ago. Well,
Yeah.
in crypto years, a long time ago. And I think that one's been very successful, and I think that one's a very good model for people that really, truly, honestly wanted to launch a legitimate company. I have to say that in the crypto world, legitimate,
Yeah.
and have been very successful with it, and that's incredible. There is a Toronto DAO group. Um, I'm following that more for the community and to see how they do and to be supportive, because it's very innovative people, and at their core, like, everyone's trying to do something really, really good within the community here, and I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Other than that, no, because I will counter on, is it a true DAO, right? Or is it
Yeah.
just a cash grab? Like, it's just yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. And can you please explain a little bit your vision on NFTs and future for NFTs, where we can using it? And my next question will be about the real world assets. But yeah, let's talk first about the NFTs. What's your opinion about them?
So again, that's a big question, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of money? Hey, I fucking love money. There you go. I fucking love it. So NFTs,
Yeah.
basically, a lot of people know NFTs from JPEG art or art, and we
Yeah.
know, like, the utility around a lot of NFTs is minimal. Um, However, there have been some very successful ones. Bored Ape Yacht
Yeah.
Club, Pudgy Penguins. There have been very successful ones that have gone into merchandising and different types of art, film, comic books, and that is incredible. Even though that market, I believe, is still down right
Yeah.
now. But I believe the institutional use of NFTs, carbon credits,
Yeah.
tokenization of real world assets, mining, and trademark music, art. I think it will. It's kind of like all the hype. The hype
Yeah.
and everything is kind of now kind of dying down, and what's going to come out are really great use cases. So I'm a big believer in NFTs. I love what some companies are doing in regards to real world assets and NFTs, and
Yeah.
create baskets of multiple tokens, even if they're meme coins.
Yeah.
So,
All right. And about the real world assets, tokenization of real world assets, where we are now currently, and what the future it has from your opinion.
um, so the market is blowing up, and it's
Yeah.
it's the I don't know the exact number. I believe there was an estimate, but I don't remember the company, by 2030, a certain number, which would be 10% of GDP, would
Yeah.
be tokenized, real world assets, which would be tokenized. We're talking about real estate, gold, funds, and lots of
Yeah.
lots of things. And I think it's just growing. I think it's just starting to take
Yeah.
off.
So yeah, even like the huge foundation, there's the BlackRock, uh,
BlackRock, yeah.
already talking about the stock market on smart contracts. So is it the same story of the real world asset tokenization,
Yeah,
And
because smart contracts are programmable. So what
yeah,
it does is the programming removes a lot of laborious work, paperwork,
yeah,
steps, right? All it's doing, tokenization is just modernizing finance. It's
yeah,
all it's doing. It's really taking paper-based, clunky processes and, automating it basically.
yeah. And
And
is
part of
there
that
a
is
huge
AI.
role for NFTs into this?
What's that?
Is NFTs has some role into this on tokenization of the real world assets?
Yes, because some of that translates into NFTs, right? Like I said,
Yeah,
like so one company, Vera that we're working with, they're creating these baskets of tokens which will be like an NFT. So an NFT would be basically an NFT token. Like you're
yeah,
basically just you're kind of like it's instead of what over here you're buying Ethereum and then you're buying SHIB and then you're buying Doge and then you're buying Ripple and then you're buying Bitcoin. It's like you can move them all into one
yeah,
NFT,
yeah,
right, and sell it all kind of in a
all
package.
together. All right. And what's your opinion on the regulation of NFTs in this case? Like, if you're taking a portfolio, as you said, and how regulators could put some tax on it. So, is it something similar what they're doing now with all the cryptocurrencies, or it's something different? Should be?
It's no different than anything in the real world. You have to pay taxes on it. if
Yeah,
you if you are profiting off investments, it's capital gains. Like
yeah,
there's nothing different about it. The only question is when is the government going to be able to actually track it?
track it. Yeah,
Right? So right now, like you get your slips or whatever from your bank, from your financial advisor, they file, you file. So there's a way, there's a track, right? There's like a record, right? So but yes, it will be regulated just like any other asset.
yeah. And what's your opinion into the development of blockchain? Like, I mean, is the blockchain solutions already in the late stage of development of, or there is still a lot of space to build something new on it?
um I don't know. That I have no clue. I've heard like some people say there's enough layer ones, right?
Yeah,
We have enough layer ones. But who am I to say if some young, innovative, oh, I don't want to say young because that is ageism. Who am
yeah,
I to say that some brilliant, innovator comes up with something that is so unique that makes Bitcoin obsolete or Ethereum obsolete? Like, I am not going to say that. So,
yeah,
uh, I don't know, right? I mean, there's still very little. If you look at it on a global scale, like there's
yeah.
still so much adoption to happen. So, no, are we at the top of the market? I would say not even close.
All right. And you mentioned it before that in Bloomy, like one of the sector of your focus is the carbon credits. And we know it's like one of the most painful topic currently for the government and most of the economy in the world, like not only in Canada. What's your opinion regarding the carbon credits? Should it be like somehow upgraded, or should we just like live without them, or what's your opinion about that? About it?
So, what I find odd about carbon credits is it's a get out of jail free card for um, companies that aren't
Yeah,
concerned about the environment, or they're not they're It's kind of like, I find that odd. It's like you can destroy the planet, but you can go buy credits from a company that's not destroying the planet, and then
Yeah.
you're okay. You can sleep at night and Merry Christmas or whatever. So I find that odd. Carbon insetting, I understand completely. That's where the carbon credits are coming from, initiatives within the supply chain or within the companies. And so I mean, at the end of the day, it's like a tax, right? So
It's just like another way of
it's
getting
created a whole new industry to just kind of do
Yeah.
a tap dance around us destroying the planet.
So, is it your opinion the carbon credits and all the story around the carbons? Is it dangerous for cryptocurrency market for Bitcoin mining, or it's like easy to solve that problem?
I don't understand what you're asking.
Like the like a lot of government workers, they are blaming the Bitcoin miners regarding the carbon, the CO that they are producing, and they're talking about turning off the Bitcoin minings. And some speakers, some people, they're speaking that the Bitcoin mining should be only on eco-friendly energy. And what's your opinion about the Bitcoin mining?
So I think every company in every existence and every corner of the world should be trying to do sustainable initiatives. To
Yeah,
point at Bitcoin and not point at oil, or to point at Bitcoin and not point at the airline
yeah,
industry, is bullshit. It's hypocrisy,
yeah,
right? So there are Bitcoin mining initiatives to reduce, obviously the impact on the environment.
yeah,
But no, if you're gonna point to one, you can point to all of them. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
we pick and choose, and we pick and choose across all industries. Like, hey, over here, are we okay with human trafficking? Because we're okay with it over here because we need to buy their oil, or we're
yeah,
okay with it over here because they buy arms from us. But over here, how dare they human traffic? How dare they do that? And let's come down on them. Like, it's a whole hypocrisy. So how do you say to one
yeah,
company, you need to do this and you need to do that, and you're not doing it to every other company, depending on the size of their lobby group or depending whatever. So you know what I mean? So if
yeah,
somebody's going to point to Bitcoin, then bring in legislation that applies to everybody across the board. No end ifs or buts. If you're going to go after one, go after everybody.
yeah. And as we discussed it with you on the previous our session, you have collaborated with such gains in the industry with like Coca-Cola, CryptoSlam, LGND, and you already like more than a decade into the market in following the blockchain technology. And has the market changed in the marketing opinion? Like, is the marketing strategies from like these gains, gigants, and new cryptocurrency projects really different?
Yes, because now you have a wider understanding of crypto,
Yeah,
blockchain, how they're different. So now, whereas 10 years ago, banks were anti crypto, wealth management companies, family offices were anti crypto, now they're not. So, um, yes. So now, some of the strategies that I'll suggest to somebody is LinkedIn, right?
yeah,
And if they're not going after the DGen community, um, they're going B&B, or they're a SaaS, a SaaS model or whatever, then they don't need to be in DGen communities, right?
yeah,
That's not their client.
yeah,
So, yes, it's completely different from, marketing a meme coin
yeah,
is completely different from, marketing institutional grade product.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's for sure. So, can you please explain to us a little bit more about your speech on our upcoming event on 15th of June? What audience can learn from your speech and what it's going to be about?
I believe I might be kicking off because I am talking about basically it's going to be a 101 on what tokenization is. So it's going to be a very simplified talk on what is tokenization. Obviously,
Yeah,
Bitcoin was the first. Well, there was others before Bitcoin, but for this purpose, it's Bitcoin, the
yeah,
first successful use case of tokenization of value. And so very simplified. This is what it is. This is what it means. These are the products. Like this is, hey, this is a mortgage in, centralized, like a traditional TradFi, traditional finance. This is a mortgage product in DeFi or tokenization. So just a very simple kind of breakdown of this is this is what tokenization is. This is what it means when we're talking about it, and that will be followed up by more in-depth discussions on decentralized finance by Mark Lejour and NFTs by Galen Hogg. So
yeah.
it's kind of like
Oh, that's really nice. I'm so excited and waiting for it to learn it. I already grabbed my popcorns and
that's
really
right.
waiting for it. Oh, the
Is there going to be popcorn there, by the way? No.
yeah, we'll bring it. All right. And just the last question from me. Your opinion about the economy bubbles. Is it cryptocurrency a bubble? The Bitcoin itself, is it a bubble or no?
No, I don't think cryptocurrency is in a bubble. I think there's other assets that are in a bubble. I think we're in a dangerous bubble,
Yeah.
actually. And I heard on a talk, it was on the Coin Bureau. You got to follow the Coin Bureau.
Yeah.
And it was two leaders in the space, and it was a really interesting talk because they talked about I won't know verbatim that if there's peace between China, the United States, and that
Yeah.
sort of thing, instead of conflict, we could end up in a super bubble. Really interesting video. It just dropped, I believe, yesterday. The Coin Bureau.
Yeah.
Anyways, so no, I don't think crypto's in a bubble. I don't. I think other assets are in a bubble.
You mentioning another asset. Which one, from your opinion, is in bubble? Like
So
real estate market?
real estate, depending on not commercial,
Yeah.
residential real estate, depending on the market that you're in. But I think globally, I think residential real estate's in a bubble.
Yeah.
Commercial, I don't know. I know that yeah. So commercial, I don't know. But yeah. So
I see. All right. Um, Audrey, I will not take your time for a long anymore. So thank you for your time. It was my really pleasure to speak to you. And we already left less than 5 days until the event is gonna be launched and started. And I am again inviting everyone to our upcoming event, 15th of June, Heart of University Toronto, Heart House. We are awaiting everyone who wish to learn from Audrey and many other speakers as well. And yeah, have a good evening and thank you again for your time.
all right, and we will see you soon.
See you. Thank you.